What makes a leader truly exceptional? Is it their ability to inspire hope and drive progress, or their willingness to stand unwaveringly against corruption? Leadership defines the trajectory of nations, shaping their economic, social, and political landscapes. Today, we examine two contrasting tales of leadership on the African continent, one of vision and reform, and another of missed opportunities and controversy. Burkina Faso's captain Ibrahim Traoré stands as a shining example of transformational governance, while Kenya's William Ruto and Nigeria's Bola Ahmed Tinubu face global criticism for corruption, mismanagement, and lost potential. These leaders' actions not only influence their respective nations, but also hold lessons for Africa as a whole. What insights can we glean from their leadership styles, and how might they shape the continent's future? Stay tuned as we uncover the deeper stories behind their presidencies. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the African Web and hit the bell icon for more thought-provoking discussions on Africa's progress. When William Ruto was sworn in as Kenya's fifth president in 2022, he carried the hopes of millions. Campaigning as the hustler-in-chief, he pledged to uplift Kenya's poor and build an inclusive economy. Yet just 2 years later, his administration is mired in controversy and public discontent. Ruto's rise to power was accompanied by promises of economic revival, job creation, and social equity. However, in 2024, his government passed a highly unpopular finance bill, raising taxes on essential commodities like fuel, housing, and telecommunications, for a country already grappling with inflation. This move felt like a betrayal of the very people who had voted for him. The burden of these taxes disproportionately affected Kenya's lower and middle classes, sparking widespread outrage. Massive protests erupted across Kenya, with youth, workers, and civil society groups uniting to demand his resignation. These demonstrations highlighted the deep-seated frustration among citizens who felt abandoned by their leader. Did Ruto forget the very people who put him in power? Ruto's response shocked the world. Security forces unleashed tear gas, live ammunition, and water cannons on demonstrators. Dozens of lives were lost, and countless others were injured or disappeared. These heavy-handed tactics drew condemnation from human rights organizations, which labeled them a direct assault on democracy and the right to peaceful assembly. The images of violence painted a grim picture of a leadership detached from the struggles of its people. Adding to these woes are allegations of rampant corruption. Public funds intended for healthcare and education have been diverted, leaving citizens with crumbling infrastructure and unmet needs. A leaked audit exposed massive budget inflation for road projects, with kickbacks reportedly lining the pockets of government insiders. Does Ruto's frequent foreign travel reflect his priorities? Since taking office, he's made over 50 trips abroad, with travel expenses soaring to $9.2 million in a year. For a nation grappling with economic hardship, many see this as tone-deaf leadership at its worst. His administration's inability to address these issues has left many questioning whether Ruto's leadership is a missed opportunity for Kenya. In Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu's rise to power in 2023 was heralded as a new chapter for Africa's most populous nation. However, his presidency has raised more questions than answers, leaving citizens disillusioned. One of Tinubu's earliest controversies involved awarding government contracts to businesses linked to his family. The multi-trillion naira Abuja-Calabar Road project was handed to a company owned by his son, sparking outrage over nepotism. This decision fueled public perception that Tinubu prioritized personal gain over national interest. Under Tinubu's administration, Nigeria has faced a myriad of economic challenges. Unemployment has reached record highs, inflation continues to surge, and the naira's value has plummeted. Millions of Nigerians are left struggling to survive in a country rich in resources but poor in equitable distribution. Protests erupted across major cities, with citizens demanding accountability and economic reforms. These demonstrations reflect the growing frustration among Nigerians who feel betrayed by a leadership that promised progress but delivered hardship. Meanwhile, Tinubu's lavish international trips have added fuel to the fire. Within 6 months, he spent over $2.2 million on travel, exceeding the approved budget by 36%. Critics argue this extravagance showcases his administration's disconnect from ordinary citizens. For a nation grappling with poverty and unemployment, such actions highlight the stark contrast between the government's priorities and the needs of its people. Is Tinubu's leadership a missed opportunity for Nigeria? Many believe so. As the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, OCCRP, ranked him the second most corrupt leader in Africa, the sentiment among Nigerians is clear: they deserve better. His administration's failure to address systemic issues has left many questioning the country's direction under his rule. In stark contrast, Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso represents a new wave of leadership. Rising to power in 2022 at just 34 years old, he became the world's youngest head of state. But Traoré's age is not his defining feature. It's his vision and bold actions. Unlike leaders focused on personal gain, Traoré has prioritized national self-sufficiency. He established a gold refinery to ensure Burkina Faso benefits directly from its natural resources. This move not only increased revenue, but also reduced reliance on foreign companies that previously exploited the nation's wealth. Additionally, Traoré commissioned a tomato processing plant to reduce reliance on imports, creating jobs and boosting local industries. These initiatives demonstrate his commitment to economic independence and sustainable development. Traoré's leadership is characterized by humility and service. He's restructured the military to enhance national security, fostered youth engagement to empower the next generation, and forged strategic alliances, including with Russia, to strengthen Burkina Faso's defense capabilities. But Traoré's influence extends beyond Burkina Faso. His Pan-African ideals resonate across the continent, inspiring young leaders to challenge corruption and fight for economic independence. Could he be the model for Africa's future? Many believe so. His leadership offers a blueprint for addressing Africa's challenges through innovation, accountability, and collective action. These contrasting leadership styles offer important lessons. Leaders like Traoré show that with vision, accountability, and genuine care of the people, Africa can achieve transformative progress. On the other hand, the corruption and mismanagement seen in Kenya and Nigeria highlight the persistent challenges holding the continent back. The choice between leaders like Traoré and those like Ruto and Tinubu could determine the trajectory of entire nations. Leadership rooted in integrity, transparency, and a commitment to the greater good is essential for unlocking Africa's potential. Citizens play a crucial role in shaping their country's futures. By demanding accountability and participating actively in governance, they can hold leaders to higher standards. Grassroots movements, civil society organizations, and the youth are vital in driving change and ensuring leaders prioritize the people's needs. As Africa stands at a crossroads, its leaders must choose between self-serving agendas and the pursuit of collective progress. Which path will prevail? That depends on the citizens who demand accountability and the leaders who rise to the occasion. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to the African Web for more insights on Africa's journey toward a brighter future.